Hello, everyone, and welcome to Newly Forged, episode 109. Can you believe it, y'all?
Ooh.
Episode 109. I've got it. Rejoining the party. Wow. 24 months. Happy 2 heckin' years as an affiliate. I've got it. Thank you so much. You've been our number one since day one. Best mod around. Thank you. It's very much appreciated by me, by all of us here. Thank you for supporting us on this silly little thing that we're doing. We greatly appreciate it. So thank you. Whew. I have verklempt now. Yeah. So we are episode 109. We are sadly down a Spoot, a Matt, and a Tanner this evening. Both of them have other commitments, so they will not be joining us tonight. But that's okay. We've got 3 of our glorious players here. It means that we're going to do something kind of fun and interesting tonight. It's going to be wild. We're going to see what happens. It's going to be crazy.
Yes, this is going to be
I'm
like
worried.
a bro adventure.
Who's to know? But we're here. Before we go around and do introductions, I'm going to need someone to roll me a D20 to give us our glorious prompt of the week. Don't all jump up at once now.
Okay.
I like how everyone is terrified to do this roll. It has no impact on gameplay whatsoever, yet every week everyone is terrified.
Fear. I don't think it's fear. I think we're all just like being polite and just being like, let someone else.
We're all like, did I do that recently? Is it somebody else's turn? I don't know.
Well, the first one was an 8 from Amber. So everyone, please introduce yourselves, your characters, and tell me, how does your character feel about their own mortality?
Ooh.
We're going deep in the newly background questions tonight. Which this has come up recently in game, so it might be different than if we had asked like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
True story.
I've got it. Says nobody wants to give up their good roll for the night either. Nobody wants to waste that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to waste that nat 20 energy. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be great. So please introduce yourself, your characters, and answer the question: how does your character feel about their own mortality? I forgot to give a couple shout outs. I'm a Dirk. Big shout out to Trainman90 and Dorktales, who gave us a follow last week after we rated them. So thank you very much, Dorktales. Now answer all those questions. We're going to start at the top with Mike.
That's me. I'm Mike. I play Defect, the Arcanaton Barbarian. Regarding his thoughts on his mortality, he has died once already. And the experience has left him feeling, I would say, empty, because I guess in a way he was hoping he'll get a vision into who he is, what he is, where he's from, some flashback of his background, answers to, everything that he is, and he didn't get any of that. So he's without a positive or a negative thought about his mortality. It's just there. She'll obviously like to keep it for as long as possible, as long as Greg and the rest of the Misfits are there alongside him. So she'll hold on to it, but when it happens, I don't think it'll be good or bad for him. It just is.
Fair enough. He's taken a very nihilistic approach to it. Very kind of.
That's what I was looking for.
It's there, but whatever.
What is life?
A bit empty. Defect is going through ennui, as the French would say.
One long existential crisis.
Yep, that's true.
Fair enough. All right, next down the ladder. Next rung on the ladder, whatever. Next box that we see, we got Amber.
That's me. I am Amber. Nice to meet you all. I play Greg, the Goblin Artificer. Well, let's be frank. I've died a couple times now, so mortality is less of a mystery, and yet slightly more, not terrifying, but it's a little scarier now that I've died twice because it's real, not like this thing that's like, yeah, whatever that happens to people, but who cares? Who knows? So I guess it's very, very, very real. It might be becoming something that is serious in Grieg's life, which is like one other thing, maybe two other things: Defect's friendship and hating their dad. So that's big.
Would you
It's
say
a little
maybe
scary.
their mortality is a little more precious to them?
Yeah, living is a little more special than not living because death is real, not that thing that's abstract.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next on the ladder, we have Sarah.
Hey, I'm Sarah, and I play Olive, the half-orc druid. And she thinks mortality is okay when it happens to other people, especially people she doesn't like. But she's not too keen on it for herself. She's really big on the no, I like to stay alive. That relentless endurance. We're all for that. And we love some relentless endurance. And yeah, it's in theory she's supposed to be okay with it because she's a druid, and that's like the normal cycle of things. Except that she doesn't. It's not for her.
Fair enough. And my name is Jared. I'm the Dungeon Master here on Nuuli Forged. I play everyone and everything else that is not the 5 PCs. And when they're not here, I say they are shadowy and indistinct and decide other things. Unless they enter combat, in which case they will be Jaegered by someone else. But mortality is interesting. Depends on... It's interesting all across Nuuli. Different cultures view it differently, and different individuals within those cultures also may view it differently. So, you got to ask an NPC, I guess, to find out how they view their mortality. But yeah, wild times.
There a sheep or something around we could ask?
Sheep would probably have no concept of mortality. They'd be like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Fair.
They might understand, living and not living as a concept, but mortality...
And that Bob was here last week, and now he's gone.
Yeah, and they moved on already.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, they moved on. Wild. Well, let's dive into last time on Nuuli Forged. Get myself all ready here. Last time on Nuuli Forged, our hero successfully garnered the name of the Guardian of Soulmount, Poru Vinkala, answering his riddle just as the final sands of the hourglass fell. The mighty Sphinx congratulated the party and retrieved Defect from the elemental plane of fire, which he had accidentally been left in, before rewarding them the shard-touched mace, specifically to Spoot, who was chosen to bear it by the party. The party was then given 3 prophecies, and they spent some time chatting with the Sphinx, taking a rest before departing. Upon leaving Soulmount, the party portaled to Misfit Manor, as they had been unable to portal within the mountain for some unknown reason. But when they emerged into a raging inferno. Their home was burning. They ran outside and saw their various allies and employees on the ground in different states of well-being. Nereus and Olive turned their attention to putting out the fire, while Greg began pelting Adis with questions, and Spoot quickly turned to assist the injured. Eventually, they learned that Oligar, the Goliath former leader of the Red Crows, had just attacked their home, but teleported away when the house guards and the various archers appeared, and he was vastly outnumbered. But the damage had been done. Kepi the cook was knocked unconscious. Sherman, their gardener, was dying. But Adis, luckily, was able to save Sherman on his own. The guards Basha and Sugio were wounded, and very sadly, their butler, Sebastian Rosa, had perished in the assault. It was a difficult bit of a conversation afterwards. Greg became incensed and demanded that they leave immediately to go after, or at least cut off, Oligar. Spoot wanted to stay the night in an attempt to raise Sebastian in the morning. Olive and Nereus also voted to stay because the group was spent and had very little left in their tanks. Greg, however, stomped off into the charred home. Olive and Spoot went off to the Temple of the Dreamweaver at Sada's recommendation to see if they could get a better sense of the timeline given to them by Poro Vincala. Meanwhile, Nereus, along with Defect, confronted Greg, and after an altercation, Greg and Defect walked out of the Misfit Manor into the night, Greg leading the way. And that is where we will pick up Greg and Defect. You are stalking off into the night. Defect following behind Greg. Where are you going?
Going to
Pick up supplies, right?
Healy's.
Mhm.
That's what it's called,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Hagatha's? Yeah.
Hagatha's, thank you. Every time.
Or Haggie's Healy's, actually.
Haggis, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So you return to Haggie's Healy's, and it's much the same. It is evening, so the street lamps that do exist are lit. Haggie's is down, kind of close to the docks, and you can see that there are lanterns lit kind of in the general area, and the building is more or less the same. Short little place. There's a variety of plants growing all across it. Some of them are starting to turn into their, like, it's getting a little too cold mode. It is harvest season, so the odd chill is in the air now, as opposed to the last time you were here in late summer. But there is light coming from the windows inside.
I knock.
Come in!
I go in.
Welcome to Haggie's Healy's. Oh, it's you again. And you see this older human woman with all kinds of, with like a big, like frilly apron and a hat that's kind of askew and like stuff tied into her hair in a variety of ways. But a big smile on her face and big round spectacles. You remember Happy Haggie. Welcome to Haggie's. Haggie's Healy's. I'm Happy Haggie. Oh, I already went over this with you. It's been a few months. Hello. Where's that? You're that Greg. Tell me, where's that handsome young turtle of yours?
Well, he's back at our house because our house was attacked, and so
Oh, no!
taking care of all the people, and so I came here to get supplies because we need to get loaded up so that we can go and attack the person who attacked us. He's our nemesis. He's the worst.
Okay. Well, if I can sell you anything, sure. What are you looking for exactly? Do you need healing potions for your friends?
Yeah, we need some healing potions, and I'm curious if you have any other, like cool stuff that might be deadly, or...
Well, I don't deal in poisons.
Okay. That's acceptable.
They're kind of illegal and frowned upon.
Oh, right. Of course. Yes.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
No,
Okay,
really,
and
they
then-
are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I hear
Sure,
ya.
sure.
Why would it be okay to sell poison to people?
I mean, because, maybe it's rat poison. I don't know. I'm just saying. Last time we were
That's a
here-
different story. But I don't make rat poison. The
Alright.
name of the shop is Haggis Healy's.
No, you're right. You're right. It's Haggis Healy's. Yes, you're right. So, yes, healing potions. And I have trouble remembering sometimes where we buy things because we like to buy things. I
Okay.
feel like, are there other potions here? Like, I think I got some potions of water breathing or climbing or something.
I mean, I do a few other side prospects and innocuous sort of things. But mostly I focus on healing salves and balms and potions too, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then we're definitely going to need some healing potions. How much are they?
Well, I have, let me see. And she goes behind her little desk there, or her counter. And she's like, well, I actually have 9 standard healing potions, but I've been experimenting with my process, you see. Getting a little bit better. And I have 1 that's turned out quite well, I think.
Okay. All right. As in, like, it's going to be stronger, you think?
I think so.
Okay. How much you want for it? And how much for 5 healing potions?
Well, 5 healing potions is 50 gold each, so that's 250 gold.
Okay.
And
I take-
for this more high potency healing potion, I'd say this is about 500 gold, easy.
500 gold. You're not even sure if it came out really great?
Well, I'm confident it did.
All right. I'll buy it.
Oh, okay.
This is serious business. I don't feel like haggling. I will give you your money. This is great.
Okay. 750 gold.
Great. I'm just writing this down.
Mm-hmm. So she takes out 5 healing potions from her box and kind of wraps them up into a little container.
Great.
And then also takes out the next one. Actually,
So is it 5 or 4 of the regular healing potions?
so 250 for 5 regular healing potions.
Okay.
And as she's packing it up, she kind of looks at you and says, since this is for your friends, your house has been attacked and everything. And I really don't know if these work. I could knock off 200.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're really nice.
Well, I try to be. I'm a nice person. I try to be good.
Yeah, that's really nice of you.
Well, just pay it forward, I say.
Can I pay it forward in by ridding the world of this awful human? Not human. It's actually a half giant named Oligar. He led the Red Crows and they burned down a whole village with a bunch of people inside. And now he's burned down our house. I think
the
he likes
Baron,
burning
yes,
people.
I remember hearing about him.
Oh, that's right. He lived here. Oh yeah, we live in his house. I'm a little scatterbrained. This whole fire thing. Thank you. I'm not gonna say no. Here's your money. Let's go.
Oh, thank you. Good luck. I hope no one else gets hurt. And bring back
Thanks.
that turtle anytime. You're very handsome.
I'll tell him you say hi.
Okay. And you leave. You can add 5 regular healing potions and 1 greater healing potion
Okay, it's a greater healing.
to your inventory.
And the total was 350.
550 because she gave you 200 off.
550. I can math.
No worries.
Okay. And this is the part that Amber doesn't remember. Was there anywhere in town that sells like magic items or anything like that?
So at this point in history on Nuuli, magic items are more likely to be found in treasure hoards or in, or like off of villains who have found them or inherited through families, because a 1,000 year magical apocalypse just occurred.
That's fine.
Pardon me.
Fair.
You do know there is a like a magical shop, for lack of better terms, that sells like supplies and that kind of like spell components, and he did have a couple of like magical things at various other points.
Okay. I will go to there. If Aggie is open, maybe this guy will be, but I don't remember him, so that's too bad.
Yeah, it was called Impressive Feats. It was up more towards the center of town.
Okay.
You get there. It didn't take you too long. So you can quickly run up to Impressive Feats, which is run by an old tiefling male named Conjure, if you might recall.
Oh, this does sound familiar now, yes.
Yeah. There is a lantern above the door that is lit, and you can enter it. There's a little tingle of a bell, and you see in the shop, kind of starting awake from a rocking chair, is an older tiefling, red skin, horns, long hair kind of braided back. Oh, good morning. Good evening. Welcome to Impressive Feats. How may I serve you today?
Hi. Sorry to bother you late, but our house is burning down and we need to go find our enemies. What spell scrolls do you have in stock, and or do you have any items at the moment?
Well, I have a variety of spell scrolls in stock.
I'm thinking dispel magic would probably be good, or if you've got let me think. Definitely dispel magic. Probably also sending. That could be useful, because I don't know if everyone else is coming. And oh, do you have anything that like traps gas?
That traps gas.
Well, I mean, like, I have this one spell where I can like put some wind and sort of shape the wind, but like if a gas is going, like, could you like trap it, or like an object that could trap it?
Well, let me look.
Okay, so look. Great. Yep, go. Yep.
No, what were you going to say?
No, that's it. Just go. Yeah, okay, great. Look. Yeah, carry on.
Very well. Let's see. You wanted some scrolls of dispel magic, you said. Let's see.
Strong as you got. Yep.
Let's see. How many does he have?
This is Amber apologizing to Jared. Amber did not communicate any of these desires. Sorry, you have to look everything up now.
Yeah, you jerk.
I am such a jerk. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm making it up as I go.
Well, I do have 4 spell scrolls of dispel magic available.
Cool. How much are those?
They're 300 gold each.
I'll take 2.
Very well. And he goes behind him and pulls 2 scrolls down and puts them into a little like basket that he's picked up from behind the counter. And what else did you say?
Well, okay, so what I already said was something, like to shape or control a gas, to stop a gas from, like, moving through an area.
Well,
It might be a long shot, because I only know one spell that can do it, and I know this other guy who can shape some wind stuff, too, and that might do it, but I don't... Yeah.
Well, I do have a few scrolls of druid craft. It's a very low level spell, but it might assist you in some fashion.
Okay. What about counterspell?
Oh, I do also have a gust scroll.
Well, that could work.
It can create a small blast of air to move gas away from you.
Oh, I want it to stay near me. No, that might not.
Well, I suppose. Yes. It sounds like you're asking for something like, to capture gas. You say. Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I like the one that I can do is wind wall. Like I could like create a wall for it to kind of be in, but like something else. Maybe.
Yes. I wonder if I have a spell scroll of that particular. Let me see. Roll a percentile die for me, Greg. It's a D100.
Percentile die. 61.
Okay. I do have one. And he pulls down a scroll. This here is actually it's a little expensive, but it is a scroll of Resilient Sphere, which you can cast around yourself for protection, but you could also and capture a creature within it.
Interesting. How much is a little expensive?
This particular scroll took quite a while to transcribe, you understand, and the various inks and golds. Oh, I could let it go for... Well, about 900 gold.
Okay. Great.
Oh, excellent. And then you asked about counterspell, correct?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I used a scroll. Do I have to, already sort of be familiar with the spell or, like, able to sort of do it to be able to use the scroll? This is actually legitimately Amber asking. I'm looking at it right now.
So
I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't have to, but it's a lot easier to use one if it's on your class list.
Gotcha. Okay. I would have to get components as well.
Actually, that's not true. It does have to be on your class list for it to be useful to you.
Okay. Oh, that's what the if. Without providing material components. Otherwise, the scrolls are untouchable. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, that's annoying. I picked a class that doesn't have counterspell, and it's all I want in the world right now. Good job, Amber.
I mean, just because Grig couldn't use it doesn't mean other people couldn't.
I know Greg isn't sure if everyone else is gonna come, but it's fine. How much is it?
Well, counterspell scrolls are about 500 gold.
We'll take 2.
Oh, very well. Let me see here. I just happen to have 2 available.
Excellent. Great. Love it. So that's 1,000 gold.
For all of this together, 2,500 gold
2,500. Great. Okay.
for these 5 scrolls here.
The glory of being a hoarder. When you want it. And just so you know, I'm taking this off. Like, my character sheet just has a little bit of part of my money. I have the main bank in the bag inventory just because carrying.
Okay.
So if you check my sheet, that sheet's not going to change. So far, I've only been spending out of the... yeah.
So
But
you're
I'm keeping
using
the
the party
bag.
funds?
No, I'm using my funds.
Oh, you're
that
using
are
your
separate
funds.
from the
Okay,
party
yeah,
funds.
that's fine.
I just, because Grig is a hoarder and doesn't trust banks for their money, all of their money is in the bag, and then what's on the character sheet has been in the, like, money pouch, more accessible, if that makes sense. Bag of holding
Gotcha.
versus Manny bag that comes out.
Gotcha. You also all do have accounts in the bank at Fay Harbor as well.
Oh, maybe this is supposed to be in the bank, but I put in the bank only as party, I thought.
Well, you got the bank accounts made because you sold that giant gold statue.
Right. Okay. So maybe.
So
maybe
there's
we
just
didn't do
like
that
there's
order.
just one big fund that you all can access essentially. But none of you have ever been there to do that. So really, only Adis and Sebastian were the 2 who dipped into it.
Olive
Right.
sent, I think, Adis to dip into it for her on her
Oh
behalf.
yeah, I see. There's
Yeah.
in the bank, in the bag joint, and in the bag my money. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm just reading my notes way too fast because
Yeah,
now I'm getting more
so
information
he-
from Greg.
Puts those 5 scrolls, puts them in scroll tubes, and hands them over to you. Is there anything else I can help you with? Takes your money.
Take my money. Do you know of any? Well, we haven't used anything lately. We still have enough diamonds. This is Amber checking notes. Yes, we just got a bunch of diamonds, so we're probably good. I think probably not at the moment.
Oh, well, by all means, feel free to come back anytime you need spell components, scrolls, or other such things.
Will do.
All right. Thank you ever so much.
Yep. Thank you.
And you can leave there. Defect, what are you doing while Greg is doing all this purchasing? Are you in the stores with them, or are you doing? Are you
am.
waiting outside? What are you doing?
Well, I don't know. I'm in the store with them.
Okay.
I'm Defect is always with Greg, but there is, I don't know, like a seed of doubt that perhaps we are moving too fast. And as much as he would like to, just barrel through and just start heading out towards the enemy, he doesn't want to do it without the rest of the company.
Okay.
So overall, he's just in the store kind of watching over everything.
Okay.
And wondering when and if he should step in.
Okay. You see Greg finish up their purchase. Yes, Amber.
I
Yeah.
don't want to interrupt the flow. Is this resilient sphere a scroll or is it an item?
It's a scroll.
Okay.
It's a 4th level spell called Resilient Sphere.
Okay, cool.
It might be in whatever you're looking at as Odaluke's Resilient Sphere, but they cut the names off of all these spells as well to avoid copyright against their own selves. I don't know, but that's what they did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like, it's not only
Thank
like
you.
Big B's hand, it's also like Magic Hand or something like that. Like, it's wacky. Anyway,
That's weird.
Greg, you successfully purchased these 5 spell scrolls. And as a note, the save DC for Dispel Magic and Counterspell are 15. And the same is true for the Resilient Sphere spell scroll.
Okay.
So I guess they're all 15. Because you bought
Okay.
4 3rd levels and a 4th level. So. Cool.
Wait, how many? I bought 2, 3, 4, 2 Dispel Magic, 1 Odaluke's, 1 Counterspell, 2 Counterspell.
2 Counterspell.
That's why.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Cool. So, Greg, as you leave Impressive Feats, what do you want to do next?
I think our weapons are okay. Defect has your weapon. Do you want a new weapon? Do you need any weapons? Got javelins enough?
Actually, let me double check. Something. I think I have a lot of javelins.
Oh, I still have the returning javelin on your weapon. Never mind. We're good.
That's true. Yeah, we have that. Defect looks at his axe. He says, "Nope, this is still good." And I got that fancy sword. Nope, I am feeling good and dangerous. Bonus action will make my cloak of billow.
Yes.
So I gotta start using that more.
Because you can.
You're so dangerous and elegant.
And billowy.
Mm-hmm.
I
Everything
wish
in
there was a
one.
way to take what's in my brain of Defect and put it out, but I am not that skilled of a drawer.
Same.
So
I wish I could
Yeah.
artistically draw all of your characters, but I am not that
Right?
skilled.
Ugh, maybe I'll do one of my bad ones someday when I have.
I draw
Too
stick
much time.
figures.
Yes.
I draw adequate stick figures.
That's about my level. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, weapons good. As you two are walking down the street, Greg, you are very focused and very intent on your mission. Whether or not you have a plan, I don't know yet, so you'll have to tell me. But Defect, you notice something out of the corner of your eye.
Oh no.
You notice a familiar-looking brown duster cloak kind of deal. And just for a second, you catch it at the corner of your eye as it darts down an alley.
I've seen this before.
Mhm.
Can you remind me, please?
It looked a lot
Duster
like
cloak?
one that figure who identified themselves as Umbradius used to wear.
Oh,
Oh,
that guy.
yeah.
That them, actually.
Them. Let me write this down. Them. What would Defect
Or that
do?
they.
And he just and they
That
just
individual.
turned around and walked away. Like, did I get a sense that they want me to follow them, or were they trying to be sneaky?
You don't know. You just caught the movement and it looked familiar. And in the moment it takes you to like place why it looks familiar, there's nobody at the
Okay.
edge of that alleyway.
Okay. Greg, just a moment. I want to go down this alleyway a little bit. And I'll start walking down the alleyway.
What?
Okay.
What? Ah, I'll follow.
Do I see any I don't know, clues of where they went?
Make a perception check.
Mm. 16.
Yeah. You do see something fairly interesting. You see on the ground a rolled up or a piece of paper that looks like trash, like parchment or something. But on the corner, there's a symbol that looks like the one on the emblem they gave you. And
Yes,
on,
the star.
yeah, and the one that's on your little knife that you have.
All right. I pick it up, open it. Does it say anything?
It does. Just on the other side, like it was like purposely like left there to look like trash, so nobody would bother with it. And you pick it up, and there's an address on it. Down by the docks.
Okay. And I'm sorry, is Greg right behind me or
They said they followed you.
near?
Yeah, I distracted. Was like, wait, what? Where are we going? Yeah, so I followed.
Okay. Because I know Greg will ask. It's an address.
What?
And I think I know who it's from. It's from Sorry, I was being very mysterious.
Is
pronoun
it Maddie?
game.
Do we need to
It's-
kill them?
It's from them.
Damn. Killing?
It's from Umbradius.
A personal challenge? A duel to the death.
I don't know what it could be. Only an
Capital
address.
T them.
An address, huh? I mean, I don't. They've probably been the one watching you, I think, unless it's been Oligar. But I would think that maybe it would be them because they would do that. I'm still mad at them. I don't know if we have time, but this is. If you have to go, then I have to go with you. But we're mostly ready, and everyone else is gonna linger. So maybe we have time to go. But what if they get in the way?
Let's make it quick. And if they get in the way, well, it's at the docks. So I'll push them into the water.
The docks is the largest district in town. Just to remind you.
We are
It's-
really
so it's
good
not-
at improv tonight.
Everyone knows our canatons can't swim.
Everything is completely logical, I swear.
Well, fantastic.
This is literally the only thing that I could redirect for. If they try to make us not friends again, I'm going to fight them. I don't have time to words and feelings. I follow your lead.
Ooh, the feelings, Greg. Let's go.
All right. So
Feelings.
you two
Yeah.
make your way down towards this address.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and make
This
an
is how you
investigation
save
check
us
for
from
me,
ourselves,
Defect,
huh?
as you search for this address.
Seven. I
Great.
end up at the Palace Mansions.
Great. You are down in the docks looking for this address. Meanwhile, Olive,
Yo.
you and Spoot return to Misfit Manor.
Yes, from the Dreamweaver's temple, where they're
Correct.
trying to marry us off.
Yeah. Nereus fills you in on the confrontation and discussion that was had at the house while you were gone, informing you that Grig has gone off in a fit, and Defect went after them to hopefully keep them from doing anything stupid. But with those two,
Well, that'll work.
who knows?
And now look at us.
And he says that he's tired and don't want to deal with it anymore. And he goes and over to the bungalow of Adis and Kalen's and turns in there for the night.
Olive rolls her eyes at his the back of him as he walks away.
Yeah. Spoot looks at you and says that he is going to also take the evening off. But if you want to go out and have fun, you should. Or whatever. And
are we not at all concerned about where they've gone? No.
Cool. I'd lie if I said I wasn't. Spoot's like, oh, I'm concerned, but if they go off, we can find them probably, maybe.
Cool.
You said you could do that, right?
Find people? Only after I sleep.
Well, they'll either be back before we're done sleeping, or they won't, and you'll have slept, and we'll be able to find them. So whatever.
Cool.
So Spoot also heads over towards the bungalow to curl up in his shell because he's going to do some attempted casting in the morning, I think.
Right.
So Olive, the question is, what do you want to do with this early evening that you have?
How early is it? Is it dark?
It's dark, but it's not like late.
Okay. Right, because we've been at the Moonweaver thing looking at the moon, so it must be dark because we've been looking at the moon.
Yes, the moons were visible.
Cool. She's going to maybe ask the staff if anyone knows where they went, and the answer I'm sure is going to be no, because they just stormed off.
Well, and the staff is not here. The night guards are here, but they weren't. They just saw that Grig and Defect left through the main door. The staff has all gone home to recuperate and rest, and
that's fair.
And mourn the loss of Sebastian.
Right.
But the 3 night guards are on duty.
Olive is going to go into the undamaged tower and open some windows and try to air it out and make it habitable for the moment.
Cool. Yeah, the second floor is not too damaged, and the tower's not very big, so it doesn't take long.
No, she's gonna, go open some windows and attempt to make at least her room and any other undamaged rooms, not smell like smoke and things.
Sure.
Open windows and shit.
Between your and Nereus's exertions to prevent the spread of the fire earlier, most of the damage was contained to the first floor, but the room that was allocated to Spoot was right above the where the fire began, so that's looking a little
right.
janky.
My notes say that my room and Spoot and Defect and Grig's rooms were not damaged, but are presumably smoky.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yep.
So she,
because your rooms were on the other side of the house, so
she's gonna, grumble a bit and go open some windows and things so that hope that they come home soon.
Yeah, so you spend. It doesn't take you too long to open up windows. It doesn't take you too long at all. You're probably done in 20 minutes.
Cool. And there's no sign of them returning, huh?
Not at this point.
Yeah. She is going to, with the windows open, stick her head out and attempt to make friends with a small bird of some kind. if there are any about, or a bat maybe, some kind of small flying creature.
Make a perception
Find
check.
one. 15.
You do see a couple of bats flying around.
I will, I don't know, offer them some crumbs or something and attempt, or I guess they don't eat crumbs, that'd be a bird thing. I'm going to, speak with animals and attempt to make friends with them and see if I can convince them to go look for Green Defect.
Cool. Go ahead, make an animal handling check.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Oh, it would have been better if it's a 14.
Okay. Yeah, the bats like come down and they look at you and they go, "Hello. What's all this then?"
No, I'm looking for a couple of friends of mine, and I was wondering if I could maybe convince you to take a quick flyabout and see if you can find them.
Well, yeah, yeah. I guess we could give it a go.
The friends I'm looking for, one of them is short and red, and is probably wearing a very fabulous red cloak. And the other
Great.
one is very tall and made of wood and metal, so he's pretty distinctive looking.
Sounds good. What is red?
Olive will hold up a pillow or something from the room she's in and say, "This color."
Right. Got it.
There's the short and the big tall made of wood and metal is probably going to be your best. There's not a lot of people around who look like my friend, who is tall and made of wood and metal, and he has a mane. He has some fur.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Sure.
Try. You.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Come on, Beatty. Let's go. We're all Betty. And Beatty and Betty go off. And presumably...
May or may not be successful, but...
Yeah.
I feel like at least Olive feels like she's doing something.
Yeah. It's all good.
And she's gonna wander down to the kitchen and see if there's anything salvageable in the kitchen. In terms
Make
of
an investigation check.
Ooh, 18.
Yeah. The kitchen is destroyed. It was the starting point of the fire.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of afraid of.
The stone and metal appliances, like the stove is still there, but it's mostly gutted. Most of the wall has gone away. A lot of the beams actually look like they are they're damaged. They're not about to fall over, but they are damaged.
Fair. Do we
there's
have a root cellar or something?
There is, yeah. You know where the cellar is, and there's a portion of it that is for storage and that sort of thing. So yeah, there's some potatoes down there and whatever. Almost all of the pots have melted in the fire.
Yeah, fair.
They're
not pre-roasted or anything from the fire, huh?
No, most of them, because it's right under. It's the part of the cellar that's underneath the kitchen is where the root cellar is, and there's a lot of ash and stuff that's on them. So potentially okay, maybe a nice smoked potato. But looking at the sacks, you can see that you brush some debris away. And there is one sack of Gotham onions that are there. Gotham onions.
Oh, yeah. Those are also probably not great raw.
No, actually, Gotham onions are quite sweet.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, they're like a Vidalia.
Still not something I would eat raw.
Fair.
All right, I'm just going to do a little bit of general, tidying, pile up the things that look like they might be useful still off to one side.
All right.
I got nothing.
As you're doing that, about 20, 30 minutes into your organizing, sifting through things, the form of Lana Gertzen appears in the doorway. This is your female half-elf house guard.
Oh yeah, I found her picture.
Yeah, she's quite striking. Long dark hair, pale skin, kind of like yellowy eyes. Long sword by her side.
Hey, Lana. How's it going?
Fine. Sorry to bother you in what is obviously a trying circumstance, but this was just delivered with your name on it, and hands over a folded piece of paper.
I accept it and read it and open it. Thank you.
Of course. We didn't want a messenger coming in given the circumstances, so.
It's fair. Thank you for your continued vigilance.
Of course. We'll be on it. And she leaves you alone with the note. It's pretty simple note. It just says, Olive of Grig and the Misfits, I'd be honored to have you join me at the above decks this evening. And it is signed with a name you've never heard before. It is Umba.
Umba?
Umba. Oomba. Umba.
Umba. Cool. I'm going to leave the root cellar and poke my head I guess outside if there's no one else in the house.
Nope.
I'm gonna walk over to the bungalow and ask Adis and Kalen if they know this Umba.
They are both still up. You know, they're just having like a drink with Spoot, catching up. They are unfamiliar with the name.
Cool. Well, anyone want to take a field trip with me? I've bet that this person wants to talk to me, and I'm reluctant to go by myself without someone knowing where we're going. Seems like it could be,
Well, Adis looks at you. It says the above decks. It's that bar we always go to all the time.
Ew.
It's,
Fine.
It's a very popular place. Like, you won't be alone there.
Okay. Guess that means y'all are staying in. Have a great night.
Have fun. Make a new friend.
All right. If I don't come back, that's where I am. I guess
Good to know.
Olive will take a field trip to the above decks.
Yeah, you arrive at.
Keep
Sorry?
an eye out for Grig and Defect on the way, and or my little baddie friends.
Go ahead, make a perception check.
Dirty 20.
You do see a couple of bats. You're not quite sure if they're the ones you spoke to because they're flying up high.
Fair.
But you don't see Grig or Defect on your way over. There are people like walking around, kind of doing their thing. But yeah.
All right. Head over to the above decks. Talk to the bartender there, whose name I have forgotten, but I did know it at one point.
Yes, Vidar.
Vidar. Go up to Vidar and ask him, if he's seen Grig and Defect this evening.
Oh, hello, Olive. Unfortunately, I can't say that I have. Defect's not much of a drinker, so he's never come in on his own, really. And the little ones hasn't been by either.
Yeah, no, I assumed that if you saw a defect, it would be the two of them together. But I figured it was worth asking.
They do come as a package, I suppose. But
do.
no, haven't seen them. I didn't even know you all were in town. But you're absolutely welcome here anytime. Although,
Well, it's good to see you again. Yeah, we just got here. We're probably not going to stay long, but we're passing.
yeah, I heard about the travesty that happened. My condolences, of course, about Sebastian. He was a good man, that Sebastian.
Yeah, bad news travels fast, I see.
Well, when you're a barkeep, it's pays to keep abreast of the gossip and the happenings in town.
Fair. Hey, I'm also looking for someone named Umba. Do you know this person?
I don't know an Umba, but there is someone who left a message for you. Just that if you came in this evening to join them at that table over there.
I will glance at that table over there. What do I see there?
You see a figure cloaked in a brown cloak, just with a drink in front of them.
Uh-huh.
You're seeing from back over the shoulder, so you're at like a, like a 70-degree view kind of deal.
A tall person, a goblin-sized person.
They're sitting down. It's hard to tell. Looks like average height.
And other than that, is the bar busy? There are a lot of people here.
There's a fair number of people here. Above decks is usually pretty busy. It's a nice bar in a decent spot of town, so a lot of people show up here. There's a few well-to-do people who are obviously slumming it.
Right.
By daring to be at a upper middle class bar, they are slumming it kind of deal.
Sure. I will get a mug of ale from Vidar before I leave the bar.
Yep. Yeah, 4 copper. It's fine.
Great. I will give him 5 copper.
Much obliged. Much obliged.
Math is hard. A silver is 10 copper, and if I gave him 5, that means I have. Great. Okay. Sorry, math is hard.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And then I will take my ale and I will take a wide circle to see if I can see the face of the person who is looking for me.
Yeah.
In the direction.
Yeah, so you kind of walk around the outside of the bar, past the hearth and other tables and whatever. And the face is slightly obscured because the hood's up, but once in a while they take a drink, and you notice there's a couple of tusks there.
Interesting.
Looks like gray skin.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right. Olive will go up to that table and say, I hear you're looking for me.
Great. So you head on up, and the figure turns its head to you, and we'll switch back to Defect and Greg.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ta-da!
About an hour and a half has gone by while you guys have been searching for this address, but eventually you do find it.
Oh my gosh.
It is a small, like office house. It's a small little building. It's next to a warehouse, but it's not attached to one of the warehouses down here. It's probably an administrative building of some kind. But it is there, and there's no lights there. There's no lights on. And this particular area of the docks is pretty dark at this time of night.
There's a door?
Yeah, there's a door.
Okay. And if I open it, is it unlocked or?
Yep.
I'm going to look at Greg and say, "Seal yourself. This could be a trap."
I've definitely.
And pull out my axe, and I will step inside.
You step inside, and with your dark vision, you can see that inside the room, there's a lot of nothing. There's like a few empty crates and whatever. But there is a cloaked figure sitting on a crate on the far side of the room. And as soon as you enter, the figure reaches to a lamp and clicks it, and the room is lit up. And you see this brown hooded figure with it's like a leather duster. And the light's kind of behind them, so you can't really see their face.
Did he always have a leather duster?
He had like a brown cloak, leather duster, yeah.
Feels so cool. On a scale of 1 through 10, how cool does he look? They look.
They easily, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, easily 11.5. Like, they look pretty dope.
Greg is,
I need a duster.
Greg is, like, twitching their cloak a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
fluffing it up.
I hope your
Is the cloak a billowing billow?
What's that?
Does your cloak of billowing billow?
Yeah, no. As soon as I see how cool they look, bonus action, I'm gonna make my my cloak billow, and dramatically say his name, Umbradius.
Blockadius, I wasn't sure you'd come. And I was hoping you'd come alone.
No, they stick by me.
Continued glaring.
Well,
Mild twitching.
I just wanted to reach out to you. We've been keeping an eye on you. And I've been concerned. You've been doing a lot of very dangerous things, and we couldn't see you for most of yesterday or today for some reason. We saw you at the base of a mountain, and then couldn't get you again. So that was worrying.
It was you.
You've been the one spying on me.
I told you we'd be keeping an eye on you. Don't know why you'd be surprised.
But I didn't imagine it would be through scrying.
Well, how else would we do it? You made it clear that you did not want our company the last time we met. And you preferred that of your other compatriots.
Well, I could not abandon them right now. We're on a mission.
Yes, so you have said. Blockadius, we understand that you don't remember your true self and your true life. And we've been trying to figure out a way to fix that without bringing you home because you are resistant to it. I would still love you to come home. And they take their hood down. And Greg, you see for the first time a face very much like Defect's, made of metal with like wooden like runners like down it, and a bit of stone mixed in. But unlike Defect, who's very like gray and natural kind of woods, all the metal and stone and wood in this particular individual is dark. Like dark grays, black, very much like would be difficult to see in dark, shadowy places, you imagine. But so they take down their hood and they look right into your eyes, Defect. I really wanted to bring an option to you because I care about your well-being, and I want you to come home. But I'm trying to respect the fact that you don't have the attachment anymore because you don't remember it. So we've been working on something, and if you are willing, while we can't restore your memories here, I would be willing to share mine with you.
Hope so.
Well, it's a bit complex, and I admit I don't know most of it. My compatriot does. He's more the magical type than I am. My skills are much more limited in that regard.
But it's a spell.
It's magic. I think it probably is more of a ritual. But it would allow you to share my memories, and maybe those would kickstart some of yours. And it won't be all my memories. It would be edited to give you highlights, because I don't want to overwhelm you. And frankly, there's some things that I don't want to remember, and so I wouldn't inflict them on you.
I mean, Defect is curious.
But what I can guarantee is that the memories will give you insight into home. It won't tell you exactly where it is, but it will let you see what it's like. And they will be from my perspective.
How long does this ritual take?
I'm told it takes about an hour.
I look over at Greg. Do we have an hour?
Do you really want to see edited memories? What if it's just another trick?
They're not edited. They're my memories.
Yes, but you're blocking things out that you don't want to remember. What if you don't want to remember that you were really mean to Defect? And what if you don't want to remember the time that you tried to pull us apart by manipulating
I
us?
was never mean to Blockadius. Ever. And don't you imply it again.
I don't trust him. If the others aren't going to move, then
I
guess
don't
we have
really
an hour.
care what
We
you
can't get
trust.
far
This
enough
is
to get
between
after
me
it.
and Blockadius.
I'm not talking to you.
And I'm not talking to you.
Defect. Defect was. So if you respect Defect, then you will shut up.
You made an accusation against my character. And that I will respond to.
Stop.
Face is
Hey, Defect cocks an eyebrow. Stop. Both of you.
Below.
Umbradius puts up their hands.
Twitch, glare.
It's... I feel like I have to take this chance. Even if it's a trick.
There's no trick.
You came here alone?
No. Like I said, I have my companion with me.
Then where is he?
He's right here.
Oh, did you describe him? Like, I thought you said he was alone. I'm sorry.
I
missed that.
That's exactly correct. You don't see anyone else in the room.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I totally missed something.
Nope.
And I was like, oh, well, I look stupid now.
As you're thinking this, the air shimmers a little bit, and a second form appears, standing right next to Umbradius. And what you see is a tall, silver and gold, and like bright or like a deep oak wood constructed Arcanaton with a blue and gold cloak, holding a staff with like kind of like one of those cowls that like stops at like the forehead. Bright blue eyes, and a spell book in one hand. Greetings, Blockadius. It has been some time. Though I understand you do not remember me, or much of your life before you arrived here. You may call me Archimedalius.
Archimedalius?
That is correct. I am the one who will be performing this ritual to transfer memories between Umbradius and yourself, Blockadius.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's just do it. Because we have a world to save, and the sooner we get into it, the sooner we can leave.
Very well. We have prepared the chamber beneath us for your arrival, in the hopes that you would acquiesce. And he points to a door that leads down, or presumably leads down.
Just right. Quick sidebar. I say to Greg, Greg, do that mind talk you do with Spook. Tell them where we are.
They're too far away. I could tell Fluxus, though.
No, tell someone, just in case.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'll tell
And,
Fluxus. I pull out the sending stone, and I'll say, hey, Fluxus, just so you know, we're going into a really sticky situation, just me and Defect. So if Spoot calls you looking for us, you should tell him that we're in the basement of this address at the docks, and it's Defect's ex-friends. Okay, bye.
You get no response.
Oh, crap.
And you realize that it's much later in the night where Fluxus lives.
He's probably sleeping.
Okay. He's not dead. That's good.
I mean, he might be dead.
Well...
But it's like voicemail, right? He'll get it when he wakes up.
Yeah, right? It's just like voicemail. Hang on. Give me 1 sec. I got this other
you'll
funny
find
thing.
out.
Spell storing item.
It's a sending stone.
No, that's not it. Where is the... No, I know it's sending stone. I'm looking for this other random thing. Tinkering. There you go. I can store a 6-second message heard within 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Up to 3 items at once. I don't remember the details of this, but I will wander over to the door and I will just I can create a static visual effect on a surface. So I'm going to create the static visual effect of hashtag Griefect. Or like just some symbol. Like that looks, it's so Grig, it would look like Grig.
Okay, sure. You create
Grig, and put it on the
you
door.
create Grigfeety on the door. Good job.
Yeah, great. And then at least the location is marked.
Sure.
Grigfeety.
Grigfeety, oh my god. I need to make Grigfeety now.
So
this random warehouse with a giant
the two Arcanatons in the room wait for you to do this. And then gesture to the other door that Umbradius has opened. And it does look like a set of stairs leading down.
I will approach the door, but before I step down, I will say, no funny business.
Umbradius looks you dead in the eye, Defect. Cade, I would never do anything to harm you. I wish you would believe that. And hopefully,
Ah.
after this, you will.
I
Riggs
go
watching my
down
back.
too.
If you feel that's
And I'll
necessary.
descend down.
You head down, and it's dark down there. I assume, Grig, you follow after. Umbradius and Archimedelius follow after that. As you descend down the stairs, it's just a short, 8-foot, basement stairs, essentially. Umbradius snaps his fingers, and candles light in the room. And you see down there what is a circle in some sort of chalk with 2 different triangles intersecting in different colors of chalk. And then there's a hexagon, 6 sides, a hexagon encompassing the entirety of the symbol.
It's actually going to summon demons.
And there's various candles and braziers around it that are providing both light and incense. If you would not mind. And Archimedelius gestures for both you and Umbradius to stand in the symbol in a certain way, and grasp hands, arms extended, grasping forearms, essentially. And you are much taller than Umbradius, but they extend their arms towards you.
So what do we do?
Well, you must take Umbradius's arms, and then I will begin casting the spell. It will take about an hour, and then you will receive the memories.
It was a little mushy, but okay.
He looks at you strangely. So do you take Umbradius's forearms?
Yes.
Cool. So you do that. Archimedelius begins chanting and muttering, and soon smoke appears between the two of you as the air begins to move and swirl. And as the ritual goes on, Defect, you swear that the room begins to blur. And the only thing you can see is Umbradius. As they are staring at you. They're not saying anything, they're just staring at you. Without any seeming malice or nefarious intent behind their facade, behind their eyes, or anything like that. The blur begins to pick up movement, and you see swirls beginning to encompass you. And slowly, the only thing you can see, your focus narrows and narrows and narrows until the only thing you can see are the eyes of Umbradius. And that's where we're going to take a short little 5-minute bio break and come back to what's going on with our people here. So thank you all very much for being with us so far into the evening. Thank you, I've Got It, for all the help you've been giving in chat. Thank you to everyone who's lurking, giving us a watch. We will be right back in about 5 minutes. So thank you very much. We'll pick up right here. We'll be right back. See you in a minute. Short rest time. Hello, everyone. We are back here in Nuuli Forged, coming back into quite an interesting evening here amongst the party. Olive,
Yo.
you have said that you are approaching this figure and you wanted to see me. The figure looks up at you and brings their hood down, and you see a gray-skinned orcish woman.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you must be Olive.
I am.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Umba. Won't you join me?
I will sit down across the table.
She looks as though she was expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for meeting me, first of all. I understand you've had an eventful day.
It's true, and that also makes our house kind of an uncomfortable place to hang out at the moment. So I figured, what the heck, I'd come on out and see what you wanted.
I can imagine. Well, to be sort of succinct about it, it has reached our attention that a half-orc matching your description from the Brambled Plains was part of this adventuring party we've been hearing so much about. And given where you're reportedly from and your description, I'm just wondering if you know anything about your history.
I mean, not a whole defined history. I've been I have been traveling with this adventuring party lately, and before that, I was living outside of Southbrook and kind of minding my own business.
So you were never instructed in where you came from, your family heritage, or anything like that?
I mean, I kind of remember some of it, but nothing particularly notable.
May I ask what you do remember?
Doopa-doopa-doo. She's remembering that she has notes to that effect. Not a whole lot. I remember, the other, kid things, kids making fun of me and, throwing small rocks and that kind of thing, and but nothing, just kid stuff.
Kids can be cruel, and I'm sorry you went through that. Well, I'm a member of what we call the Broken Circle. We are descendants of a lost orcish civilization, and I thought it might be possible that you might be one as well. Given your exploits, and it is said that you are quite a powerful druid.
Well, that is true. You spend enough time by yourself in nature, and you learn some things so that you can keep going.
Of course.
And there's there were some people I met along the way, but I really don't remember much about my family other than it was there were other kids, and they were bullies because they were kids, in the kid way, but not like I feared for my life kind of a way. And I being a kid, I ran away from that and sort of. I don't remember much about it other than that it was a normal childhood as far as I know, but what do I know?
Sure. I understand what you're saying. Well, there is a way to discover if you are one of the broken circle.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's very simple, actually. And from the folds of her cloak, she produces a small vial with a silver liquid in it. Simply put, if you touch this liquid, this is taken from one of our more sacred sites on the Brambled Plains. If you touch this liquid and you receive a memory, it is a memory of a blood relation from the time of the pre-breaking.
Oh. And if I'm not, like, does it going to do anything bad to me?
No, if you're not a descendant of this particular civilization, it does nothing. This sample is but a small one and is not held in a place of power. The rest of the liquid that resides within the place of power will grant a vision to anyone who touches it.
I see.
But this one will only interact with those who are descended from it.
What is this liquid? Does it look like a metal or a...
It looks like like liquid stone almost. It's just a kind of silvery gray liquid in this vial.
Kind of cool. Is it... You say I just have to touch it? Like...
Mm-hmm. Put your fingers in it.
And... What? Why have you made this effort to find me to do this?
Well, others of the Broken Circle have origins from the general vicinity that you are from, and powerful people of Orcish heritage have often proven to be descended from this particular empire. Our goal, I should state, is to discover where the ruins may be. So we're hunting clues and looking for it. Unfortunately, many Orcan tribes and individuals have fallen during the breaking and become more scavenger oriented and more of raiders than they have. Where once we were a powerful people, cities of our own, and we commanded respect, and some of that has fallen over the past millennia.
Aside, as I'm looking at this woman, does she look like she's a full orc or a half orc?
She looks to be somewhere in the middle. She's heavily orcish, but her tusks are not as protruding as like a full orc woman would be. And she's not as broad as like a full-blooded orc, but she's still more than half, you'd say.
Okay.
Definitely partially something non-orcish, but...
Oh. Very good.
Would you be willing and interested?
Is this something like I literally just stick my fingers in that tube you're holding right here?
Well, I'll pour
Or
it
is
into
this
a
like
I'll pour it into a bowl I have.
Well, sure.
I'm not gonna make you like stick your fingers down this little tube. That would be silly.
But like, that's it right there. Like, we don't have to go anywhere or anything. I
Nope.
mean,
Have liquid memory, will travel.
I guess that's kind of cool. Sure, what the heck? Let's try it.
Okay. And she produces a bowl and unstoppers the vial and pours it in. And it's not a lot. Like, it looks like it's not even like an inch covering this little bowl, but it's enough to like stick your fingertips in and get wet.
All right.
If it makes anything wet. There's no droplets left behind in the vial, and you can see that it seems to stick to itself.
Doesn't sound like Mercury at all. I'm gonna look up. Do I still see the barkeep at the bar?
Yeah, he's there. He's dealing with a customer at the moment, but he's there.
I'm going to not like flag him down, but like attempt to make eye contact.
Roll a d20. See how successful you are at this.
Sure. 11.
You think you caught his eye?
Alright. Olive will stick a finger in the bowl.
Okay, you stick a finger in, and nothing happens. You have to stick, like, all of them in.
Okay, I will stick the rest of all of my fingertips in the bowl.
Yeah.
Now I can see why you didn't want me to do this in the vial. That would be awkward.
Right. So you stick your fingers in the bowl. Olive, roll a d10 for me.
6. She's also going to brace her other arm on the table, so if she loses consciousness or gets dizzy, she doesn't fall off her chair.
Sure. Yeah, you're in a little table. It's not that you wouldn't go far. But so you sit down, or you brace yourself, and you touch this weird liquid, and it's strangely like cool to the touch. And then you feel an insane like head rush. And you look out and you're not seeing Oomba across from you. You're not even seeing the above decks around you. And you're amongst a group of standing stones. And you hear laughter and chuckles as you see children running towards you between other standing stones. And suddenly you forget everything else and are part of the game. You're playing catch me, catch you, tag, as you are running through these standing stones that are set in the circle with a basin in the middle, with other orcish children running after you.
Like basin or like a swimming pool?
Like it's on a pedestal, like an elevated basin. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be made out of stone and like the same style of architecture.
I was just asking about size, like something bowl sized as opposed to swimming pool sized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a bird bath.
Sure.
And you see adults walking around as well, looking down, smiling at you. Most of them are wearing white robes. Most of them have like between like a gray and blue skin tone to them. A couple of the kids have like a more green skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
On the stones around you, you can see this symbol of a circle with like 4 lines, kind of going to it or through it.
Okay, like a sunburst.
Kind of like a circle in the middle, and then a top, a bottom line, and a left and a right line.
Oh, like a compass rose.
Yeah, very much similar to that. And you're just having fun, being a kid, playing a game. One of the larger kids like tackles a small one to the ground, and they start laughing. Kunta, you're not supposed to tackle. That's not fair. It's like, oh, come on, Laren. It's not fair. You're bigger and faster. You're just supposed to catch, not tackle. And it begins this whole debate amongst the kids about whether tackling is legal or not in the game. Which, since you're all making up the rules as you go along, it's a healthy debate.
Sure.
And you just have this memory, and you're living in this moment. And then all of you are back in the above decks with a new memory. And you see this Oomba woman looking across the table from you, very expectantly, like waiting to see the result.
Can I do a quick medicine check on myself and make sure I haven't nothing bad has happened to me in this?
Sure.
Like it's not poisonous or anything like that. That's an 8. So
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm not dead yet.
You feel fine. Anything?
Some kids playing.
Really? What did you see?
Standing stones with a some kind of bowl on an, I don't want to say altar, but on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of kids running around and playing tag.
Anything else?
Not really. There was this symbol on some of the rocks that looked like like almost like a sun. It was like an orb and with some rays coming out of it.
Like this, and she extends her forearm and kind of pulls her sleeve back, and she's got a leather bracer on, and it has that symbol on it.
Yep, that's the one.
This is why we call ourselves the Broken Circle. Because this is the only real symbol we have of everything to remember us by. You are one of us, Olive. Congratulations. This is great news.
Cool. What does that mean? I mean, it's cool and all, but like, do you have meetings? Like, what does that mean?
well, no. Well, maybe we will. There's about 200 of us, or give or take. At least so far. Some, like myself, have taken it upon ourselves to form a pilgrimage and seek out others who may be also descendants and be part of the Broken Circle. Our main goal, as I said, is to rediscover our history and our past, and with every memory that we awaken, we gain more information.
Well, I can tell you all about the rules of tag that apparently kids played then. I don't know how useful that is.
I would be very interested to hear.
It seemed to be under much debate, but the big kids believe in tackling, and the little ones, I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear, felt that was unfair.
Sounds about right. These standing stones.
Shattering to me, but
every vision is helpful. Every memory provides insight. These standing stones that you saw, were they in sort of an orientation like this? And she begins to draw an orientation that looks like very similar to the one that you saw.
More or less. I mean, I was very short in this memories, but yeah, that seems pretty close to it.
This is excellent. These are our main standing stones. The fact that you have a memory linked to them is incontrovertible.
Cool.
Very much so.
If I stick my fingers back in, do I get a different memory?
Usually it's only one, but you can try.
I'll try.
You received the same memory.
I tell her that. I was like, no, it was exactly the same, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yes, and it's useful because often we will go back into our ancestral memories and find a new detail and learn something new and get a new clue and a new path of research or questioning to ask various people who may have stories from elders of their own tribes and so on and so forth. So we are heavily interested. If you would find anything, it would be excellent if you would share this information with us.
How would I get in contact with you?
Well, I admit I don't reside here in town full time, but if you follow the sun through the heart of the Brambled Plains for 2 days from, I believe, the town is called Southbrook. Follow the sun, the morning sun, for 2 days, so towards the east, and then 3 days south, and will put you in the general vicinity of these standing stones that you saw in your vision or in your memory. And we usually, there's always someone there. It's just a matter of whether or not they make themselves known to you. That being said, if you have magical abilities to contact others or something, you can certainly do that. I am not skilled in that way, but
I mean, I can talk to animals.
you're a powerful druid, so animals could be sent.
Sure. All right. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yes, and anything you discover in this way would be wonderful to know.
I assume those are days walking.
Yes.
As opposed to, I don't know, by some other means of transport.
I suppose you could cut the time in half with a horse, although it is the Brambled Plain, so traveling with a horse can be difficult at times.
Fair. We've recently come from Soulmount.
Oh.
I don't know how. We were there just yesterday, just earlier this morning.
Oh.
We were there very recently. We've just returned. We've arrived in town from there this morning.
Oh. This afternoon, actually, but yeah.
Sure. We've just arrived in town from there this afternoon. I didn't see any standing stones on our route, but again, it's the Brambled Plains. Not everything is
close together.
Close together or visible from any great distance, and also we skipped it all.
Okay. If you can travel quickly, then it would probably take less time.
Fair. Although I might have to do it the mundane way to find it the first time. So...
Possibly.
Cool. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, Umba. I don't know that there's much else I can tell you, unless you want to know the details about visiting Soulmount. But which I don't really recommend. It's not a super pleasant place.
I've never been interested. I'm not much of a mountain climber.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's there. I can say I've been there. I wouldn't describe it as a pleasure trip. But
fair. No, I am satisfied just having met you and seeing my suspicions demonstrated.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, I really don't know much about my people, and it's kind of interesting to hear about it.
Well, I'd be happy to tell you what we do know.
Sure.
And she begins to tell you an account of the various memories that people have received through this and similar encounters with this liquid stone. There have been accounts of people seeing themselves as a druid or some similar occupation, performing rituals to study the stars, which seems to have been the main purpose of the standing stones that were in your vision.
That checks out.
There's a story of an orc noble taking notes and asking an accounting of researchers or perhaps druids for insights into the universe along a various line of questioning. A memory is described of like a bitter, grumpy Orcan soldier who resents that they've been relegated to guard duty. Memory of one of the more recent memories, a commoner of an orcish commoner seeing a spell storm happen and watching the mountains fall as a circle of stones begins to spin around them.
Whoa.
You see an orcish druid you get told about an orcish druid consulting an architect, looking upon. This is thought to be one of the more far back memories, with an architect looking at the steps of a mountain upon which stones are. They're having a discussion about where to build these standing stones, and you can see a thriving city visible in the distance upon a nearby mountain, so not far away. You hear the memories of a pair of lovers being wed within the stones under the stars on a bright night. You see an orc dressed in shamanistic kind of robes, explaining the purpose of the stones to a visiting delegation of humans and dignitaries. You see an orc stone carver, or not see, but you get told the memories of an orc stone carver lovingly caressing and carefully carving away the stone, lovingly, little by little, forming it to be just right. And the final memory that you are told about is a thief having buried a bundle somewhere nearby one of the stones. You get a few other memories, but these are the highlights as you have this discussion with Umba, which takes a while. And we cut away back to the ritual where Defect has clasped forearms with Umbradius. And your vision has focused in until the only eyes you see are those of Umbradius. And then Defect, you see yourself approaching a construction site. You can tell by the gait in your step that you're a little unwary in your approach. And you see a massive form, taller than you, step into view. And you realize the form is familiar because the form is you. So you are seeing yourself. And you see...
On a scale of 1 through 10. I'm sorry, on a scale of 1 through 10, how cool do I look?
You look like yourself. You don't have the cloak or anything. You just see yourself. You are wearing...
A little less.
You are wearing a leather... what are they called?
Duster?
A leather... no, it's a leather pauldron with like a cross... not a harness, but like a strap or something. Like a wide sash, but it's like leather and it's like armor-like. With a pauldron. Okay. With a pauldron. And you hear your voice say, "Welcome, Sparkling. I am Blockadius." and you see you reach your hand out to the other you's hand, and you shake it and grasp it. And the next thing you see a swarm of foot soldiers attacking your home. The memories that you are experiencing give the impression that your home is being attacked. And you are fighting with daggers. You're coming out from behind things and tripping people. And there's humans and tieflings and a couple of bugbears and livery. And you don't recognize it, but you know that it's of another house. And then you see yourself again fighting off a swarm of 4 or 5 individuals with a massive club that has something on the end of it. Maybe it's a warhammer. It's a little hard to tell. Or a maul, maybe. But you're having in the middle of this battle, you don't see the spellcaster behind you about to launch some sort of destructive magic at you, or at the you in the vision. So you see the vision turn and release something from your hand, and then you see a dagger embedded in the spellcaster's skull as they fall over dead. And then the vision shifts again, and it's the end of the battle, and you look down and you can see that you are wounded. You are in rough shape, but a massive hand and arm reaches down to you, and you look up and see your own face in the vision as you grasp the arm and are pulled up. The vision changes again, and what you see is a beautiful sunset setting over mountains above a shining city, a city that sparkles with magical energies and strange arcane lights. Things you've never seen before, too many to focus on, but that's not what your focus is in this memory. You look over and up and you see yourself again in this memory, staring out, looking over from this vantage point, looking out, and then you look down, and you see yourself look down, and your hands are clasped together. And then your memory shifts again, and you see that you are one of many similar beings as yourself, probably a dozen and a half maybe, all working together to build your home. You see yourself off in the distance moving a massive stone as you are busy planing a wooden beam, like getting it straight and level, and then helping to erect it to hold up a doorway. And then and then your memory shifts again, and you see the roughly 18 or so individuals within a central chamber having some form of meeting. And you see one particular Arcanaton standing in the center, obviously leading the meeting. And all of you have the same symbol emblazoned upon your clothing, upon weapons, some on their very bodies. They've had it etched or engraved or added. And you look over and you recognize the form of Archimedalius is there in this vision. And then you see the form of you again, stepping forward and declaring that you will go on the mission. And then the vision shifts again, and you see yourself, Defect again, stepping onto a boat. A very strange looking boat, but definitely a boat. And you see your hand in this memory kind of lift up and wave goodbye, as in your memory you see the Defect in the memory raise his hand and wave goodbye. And as the boat pulls out very quickly, like slowly at first, but then it picks up speed, and there are no sails on this boat, so you're not quite sure how it's working. But then the boat disappears from view. It shimmers into obscurity. And then it all goes dark. And you awaken, and your arms are clasping Umbradius in this circle again. I hope it worked.
I dropped my arms immediately.
Is that a good sign?
Sorry. Just real quick, Jared. You mentioned that the boat looked strange. What made it look strange?
It was like no boat Defect has ever seen. There were no sails.
Like there were no sails.
There were no
Okay.
sails.
I'll look at Umbra and ask. I saw visions of a battle.
Mm-hmm.
Who and why were we fighting?
There were many in the early days of the house. Mostly other houses who did not feel we deserved autonomy, and so they sought to claim us. Those have since stopped. Quite a bit to do with your help and your skill.
They stopped because we won.
Yes, and the other houses greatly we had allies among some of the houses. It's a complicated bit of politics for this moment, but the long and short of it is we were not always granted the respect and equality by organics that we should have been. And some of us were used very wrongly in our past lives before we joined Sparkarian.
Oh, that's a new word, Sparkarian.
You've heard it before, actually.
I don't have it in my notes. Is that the name of our clan or
Yeah.
nation?
Yes. They the last time you spoke with Umbradius, they told you that you were of Sparkarian.
And reintroducing, the dagger with the symbol, with the star. Is this our symbol? I ask him.
It is. It symbolizes our rise to the house from the subjugation we were forced to upon our first bit of creations. Admittedly, not many know how some of us came to possess life. But we have come to call it that we each carry a spark. And so the spark within us we call Sparkarian. Some of us were built with a certain purpose. And some of us were built as an experiment by others, and we have since claimed that we are the only ones who should be allowed to determine our existence. And so it has been forbidden for any outside of Sparkarian to attempt to create Sparkarian life. And so we Arcanatons exist for ourselves for the first time since our creation.
But we do not live forever.
We do not know.
And where does Sparkarian lie?
That cannot be answered here. Very far away. I would be very happy to take you there. I know you are, for whatever reason, attached to this particular goblin of yours. I have asked dispensation for them to be allowed to accompany you. But they will never be allowed to leave. At least, well, they will be allowed to leave the house. It's more that they can't ever come back here. We don't trust them. But you are of Sparkarian. And in your spark, we know it, and we trust it.
Defect will take a couple steps back, towards the direction of Greg, and say, I've told you before, we're on a quest, to collect these shards and really to save the world. That is my commitment right now. And I made a promise to Greg that I will keep. I've asked you before if you could help us. You said no. Have you changed your mind since?
It is not about what I want. I cannot help you. We cannot. If we were to, our existence might get out. And people would ask questions. One of us being around is an oddity, but three of us would invite questions, and are there more?
I have a hat.
Congratulations.
It disguises you. Defect used it. He looked human. It was funny.
We have means of disguising ourselves, but that does not guarantee. Some creatures and spellcasters can see through illusion.
Well, yes.
We have been given a lot of leeway in how we might retrieve you, Blockadius. I asked Archimedalius to find a way to share my memories with you, to let you know that we mean you no harm, and we are not lying to you. We care only for your well-being. And your well-being here is not what is best for you. I understand that you feel you need to follow through with this commitment. And I'm not willing to drag you back if you don't want to go. But I was hoping that by sharing some of the memories that I have of you and our time there, that you would be motivated to make the choice on your own and to come home. And home, we can provide you the means to regain your true memories of your own self. Not just my perspective on it, but yours.
If I may I do an insight check on all this?
Absolutely, you may.
Especially the part where he says, he doesn't want to, drag me back home, kicking and screaming, but, is he sort of sweet talking me now?
Make an insight check.
Only to maybe elevate. 12.
Defect, with a 12, you sense nothing but pure honesty and openness and an intense desire for you to return with them to wherever they say they are from. But no deception, no ulterior motive.
Mm-hmm.
They legitimately seem, as far as you can tell, to only want you to return.
I thank you for this opportunity to see some of your memories and to see where I came from.
There is nothing I desire to hide from you, Blockadius.
But it still stands that I cannot return. Not until this is over.
And when this is over? When you have defeated this enemy of yours?
I don't know. I suppose we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
They sigh and look very disappointed at the answer.
But if I wanted to contact you again, how would I do so?
Archimedalius steps forward and produces a small metal, it's just like a round piece of metal. There's a few carvings on it. Take this.
Care to explain?
This will allow you to communicate with me. Once every day. Use it when you are ready to return home.
I've seen this before, Jared, right? It's a sending stone?
You get the sense that it's similar to the thing Greg made, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll pocket the stone. Thank you, Archimedalius.
You are welcome, Spark Brother.
Thank you, Umbradius.
Blockadius, before you go, I understand you've spent time here with these people, and and maybe your friendships are accurate and true. But you should be with us. There are not many of us in this world. You should be home with your people, who will always care and support you. And keep in mind, I have worked very hard to allow your friend here to be allowed to join you when you return home, if that is your wish. But know that by doing so, they will never be allowed to return to this continent.
I'll keep that in mind. Greg, gather your belongings. We leave. And I'll turn around and like start walking out, and then I'll stop. Bonus action, build up my cloak, turn my head and say, and I would appreciate you to not spy on me anymore.
I'm sorry, Blockadius. Your well-being is our primary concern. We will be looking in on you from time to time.
Well, just going to throw it out there. If you're going to interfere in my life, feel free to help us out as well. You'll be doing the world a favor.
Observation is hardly interference. Besides, believe me when I tell you that I wish I could, but it has been forbidden. And if you truly understood what I was saying and knew the circumstances, you would understand that as well.
Defect just nods and starts walking up the stairs.
You and Greg exit the building without any difficulties or whatever. Greg, you notice as you leave that your graffiti is not there. It's been removed.
Dang it.
And you remember that Arcadius came down last, so maybe he did something to it.
Ugh, that jerk.
Or Archimedalius, rather. As you walk, Defect, you get about a block from where you were when when Umbradius catches up to you, kind of sidesteps from an alley. I just need to say one more thing. And they step right up close to you, so that only you can hear them. What I say now, I say only as myself and not as a member of Sparkarian. I want you to be safe. And if you ever truly need something, I want you to take this and crush it. And they put into your hand a small gemstone. It's like a little garnet or something like that. Kind of purpley blue. It's only for emergencies. And if they knew I was giving it to you, I would be in a lot of trouble.
Thank you.
Cade. I want you to come home, but I want you to be happy too. And I really think you'd be happiest with us. I know you used to be. And they turn around and disappear into the shadows.
Perception check. Did I get to hear any of that?
Make a perception check.
Come on, 20.
8.
You
No.
did not. They were
I was
whispering.
mad about my graffiti.
Yeah, you were mad about your Greek feety, and they were whispering very closely to Defect. So you did not catch it.
Got it.
There's probably
when I
mushy
see
stuff.
him, when I see him leave,
Them.
when I see them leave, I'll turn to Greg and we'll start walking again. But I'll ask Greg, did you remember anything from when you died?
That's a weird question. Yes.
Did you hear us? Call out to you? Call out to come back?
Yes. It wasn't super clear, but I definitely felt you calling. I mostly remember everyone bad showed up. And they stayed there until I heard you. And even though it wasn't like exactly the words, I knew it was you. And so I heard you, and then I could come back. This is mushy stuff. Let's go.
I just I just want to say one thing. I made a promise to you that I would always stay by your side if you're to come back. I'm not gonna break that now.
You're
being mushy now.
You started it.
Yeah, but you're supposed to finish it.
Well, but you
Shut
made
it down.
sure. Greg slips their hand and just grabs Defect's pinky while they walk.
Aww.
No, the hem of the billowing cloak. Just
There we go. Bonus action. I make it
billow.
It billows in Greg's direction, and Greg catches it in their hand.
Just like
There you
subtle tug, walking along.
Fantastic. So you walk down a street that is mostly deserted by this time of night. Trying to figure out what your next step is. Olive.
Yo.
You've had a pleasant conversation with Umba. She's answered any questions she can tell you.
I'll buy her a round of drink.
Great. She happily accepts. A few hours go by, and she politely takes her leave and looks forward to talking to you again.
Great. I will say something polite to her.
Great. That's a big step for Olive, so I get it.
It is. She's trying.
Yeah. Fantastic. So Olive, what would you like to do?
Having said goodnight to Umba, I'll finish my drink and say goodnight to Vidar and go home.
All right. Defect and Greg, you two are making your way back. You hit the main road, the main like north-south road in town here, or I guess it's an east-west road actually. What do you do?
Do we see any, I don't know, hooligans about? Any troublemakers?
Make a perception check. any hooligans. Make a hooligan check.
Hooligan.
18.
Cool. You see that there are some town guards kind of, patrolling late at night. They nod at you. It seems like they know who you are.
Okay.
But this area seems to be like pretty well patrolled. It's like the main street by the docks, so it's a pretty popular area. You can hear people like drunkenly stumbling their way home. They're kind of walking by you. One youngish woman, like, early 20s, mid 20s maybe, sees you and says, "Oh, you're that defect, right?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
You and your Greek friends, you misfits, you broke up those red crows.
That's right, we did.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is the red crow breaker person. This is the defect, and like a group of like drunken mid-20-year-olds like stumble over to you and begin like fawning over your little bit of celebrity status.
Billow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They notice you too, Grig, and include you in the praise. They're like, "Oh, and you must be Grig."
Yeah? Why are you, what?
We've all heard about you all. Yeah, you're the ones who took down the Baron. Turned out it was a real scumbag, eh?
Oh, well, yeah, that guy sucks. He just burnt down our house again.
Oh, no way.
Can we just no, you're going to still talk to us.
Yeah, they just kind of drunkenly, like, it's like they're at the point when they're drinking where, like, they don't understand that they are now, like, taking up your time.
Yep.
Like, more than you were willing to give. So after about 10 minutes, you, like, push your way past them and kind of, like, are able to continue your walk.
Good night.
They're all like,
public
"Oh,
urination."
good night. Good night."
Yep, we're going now.
So Grig and Defect, it is late. It's been a long day. You've had some interesting experiences today. From finding your way into Soul Mount, the trial of Poru Vinkala, the aftermath of the flames at home, this vengeful shopping, and a bit of a memory transfer. It's probably approaching midnight. And you can feel the day dragging on you.
Yeah.
And you get the sense that if you don't get some decent rest in, you will feel it tomorrow.
Yep. Nobody's gonna leave right now, are they?
No, probably not.
So we better wake them up first thing in the morning, and nobody gets to kill any time. I have everything we need, or everything we can get here. Deal?
Deal.
Ugh. I don't want to go home. I'm mad. Let's go stay at an inn. I don't want to talk to them.
I mean, we could do what we used to do. Find an alley somewhere.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. I still have the tent. You think
I
we'd
have
get
a
in
tent, don't
trouble
I
if we
always
put-
carry it?
Oh yeah, you were carrying it. Why don't we? Would we get in trouble if we put it up in the park? You think?
I mean, we're local heroes, right? Celebrities.
Yeah.
Sure, they'll give
Yeah.
us a pass, and as long as it's not in anyone's way, and we'll find a dark spot where we'll bother no one. Be like the good old days.
Yeah. That sounds perfect.
Just Grig and Defect before
Yeah.
the Misfits.
Griefect.
Forever.
Oh my god. Oh, I wish I were an artist. I could make so much good
We-
graffiti.
Hey, when are we gonna get those matching tattoos?
Like any second now. Are you kidding me? Let's do this. Maybe that's what
As
we do, and
Olive
then
is
we go to
walking
bed.
home, does she
I
see
bet.
any of this graffiti?
Greg just starts putting symbols up on wall. No, I can only do it sometimes. I can't do it infinitely. I have a calligraphy set. I could just write on walls.
You could with a calligraphy set,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe, kind of. Anyway,
Who knows?
yeah, let's camp in the park.
All right.
We're going to the park.
Okay, you head over to the park. You turn the tent on. It gets all made up. You head on in there, settle your stuff down, and within 10 minutes, there's like a, hey, come on out.
What?
Are you serious?
Hi, we're just camping here because.
Yeah, you can't camp here. There's like 4 guards, like 4 town guards.
I mean, it's us. We're the misfits. We're just gonna.
Oh. It's really nice to meet you. We appreciate everything you've done for getting rid of the Red Crows. And you own a house.
And
Yeah, it
Right.
got burnt down by the Red Crows, and I wanted to chase after him and murder him because the Baron came back and is trying to goad us into giving up our mission to save the world. But also, my friends want to stay, and I'm really mad at them. And wait, I just called them my friends. So I wanted to leave, and so now I've left, and I didn't want to go home. But Defect's my best friend, and so we left, and we were gonna camp here because.
we're patrolling.
There you go.
One of
Right.
the guards who seems to be in charge kind
We're
of
patrolling.
one of the guard who seems to be in charge like kneels down at you, Greg, and like he's a half orc
I'm
kind
not
of guy.
that short. I'm 4 feet tall.
He's a half orc, so he's like 7 feet tall. He's like Defect height.
Ugh.
Says, "Now look, I get it that you might be mad at your friends, and I appreciate everything you've done, but nobody's allowed to camp out here in the parks. That's just against the law. That's against the rules. But also, storming away after an argument is no way to interact with your friends. It's okay to take a break and cool down, but you need to act like an adult and talk through these things. You can't just go off angry killing people."
Who are you?
I'm Tarek.
Why are you
Tarek
sound
Rogers.
like a stupid human? You are Tarek Rogers. You sound
I'm
like
a
stupid
I'm a
human.
half orc.
Yeah, you sound like this guy who was a misfit. He stays here now, and that's stupid.
Be that as it may, I understand that you have feelings and you feel that they are hurt or whatever, and those feelings are valid. I'm not saying they're not. But you need to take responsibility to your friends as well, and they do to you. And neither of you can take responsibility to the other in fixing this issue if you don't return to them. And besides, if you're planning on going off and fighting a big, angry bad guy, wouldn't you want as many friends and allies as possible?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go back in the morning. I just don't want to go tonight. Why are you? What? How are you in my bed? I don't. What? Fine, we won't camp here.
You don't have to go home, but you can't camp out in the city. There's plenty of inns.
Closing time. Fine. Oh my goodness, too funny.
All right. Now, we're not going to give you any trouble because of who you are and whatever, but you got to follow the rules. That's the only thing.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, get along.
I guess we go.
All right, you pack up the tent, or the tent packs itself up.
Pot close
Right.
time.
And where are you going?
I guess we go home and we go camp on our lawn? Does that sound like a good idea, Defect? I don't want to go stay in Adis's
I mean,
house.
Yeah, I didn't realize
all the way upstairs, and I guess it's not ruined. It's just smoky.
I didn't realize the patrolman here had sensitivity training.
Right? Like what
Right,
was
I guess
that?
that's-
That was just like Adis. Like all that.
Maybe he's
stuff,
just an
all
adult.
communication. Like what is that?
We don't know any of those.
No.
I
We
only
only
know.
know the weirdos.
Man, they'll just hire anyone to be a patrolman these days.
Right? Like I did not expect to be all up in our business.
All right, let's just camp out in our backyard.
Greg overshared, and this guy like zeroed in on the problem, and it was like,
yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Amber is completely impressed. His mind is blown. Like someone just said what to me? Oh my goodness, that was so excellent. I can die happy now.
Yeah, so we're gonna try this again at our backyard.
I guess.
yeah. So you head back to Misfit Manor. You see at the gate, you see Fachi and Lana are both there on guard duty.
Lana!
Yep. And they both nod to you. Fachi's like, have a good night, you two. Hopefully you've cooled down a bit, yeah? At least I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Defect does not respond. He just gives a thumbs up and just keeps on walking by.
Sounds good. Have a good night. Get some rest.
Glare.
And we pop the tent in front of them.
Oh, well, that's interesting. And then
No,
you
I
just
thought
stand
you-
there awkwardly in silence for 10 minutes as the tent slowly puts itself up. And Fachi and Lana just look at each other like, should we do something? I don't know, but they're the
No,
bosses.
no.
But I don't. Okay, well, we'll be right out here if you need anything.
Yep.
And you settle into the tent on the grounds of your magnificent manor,
Right by the gate.
right by the gate.
Yep. It's fine.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. You, all of you have already returned home by this point, so you are unaware of this fantastical
Yep.
occurrence.
Absurdity.
Does it make noise while it does that? Probably not.
No, it's fairly quiet.
Oh my goodness.
But you are Olive. Do you return to your room in the house or in the?
Yes,
in
I
the
returned to
shared house?
my tower room.
Okay, cool. So you all get settle in for a rest and complete a long rest. You can all apply that.
Yay! Long rest.
We did it.
Yeah. So everybody gets a long rest in. And one by one, everybody wakes up and kind of begins to gather. All of you wake up fairly early. You go through your morning meditations or whatever equivalency you have
Mm-hmm.
to
Figure out
organize your
how to find
spells.
people.
Yeah. What do you want to do in the first thing this morning here, Olive?
I'm gonna wake up alone in the house.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It still smells very much like fire.
Fair. I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah.
Thinking about walking over to the bungalow, but do I see a giant tent in the front lawn?
With your passive perception, yeah, like right by the gate, because the gate's a couple 100 feet away. You see the tent. Yeah.
I will walk over to it and be like, "Guys, what up? What you doing? Seriously."
Are we ready to go? Does this mean you're ready to go?
I have scrolls and I have lots of healing potions. And Haggy says hi to you, Spoot. And is it time to go?
Spoot
Uh,
is not there yet, nor is Nereus.
Spoot and Nereus. Spoot and
Time to
Nereus
go.
slept in the bungalow last night. We gotta go get them. It's just me.
Okay, let's go get them.
Guys, you came this far. You didn't just come inside.
No,
WTF?
this was nicer.
We needed
Alright.
it.
Alright. Back it up. Let's go wake up the boys.
Great, and then we leave.
Yeah. So you see that Fatchy has been replaced by Gregory. So Gregory is there with Lana when you are all doing this. And they just kind of watch as the tent slowly packs up over 10 minutes, and then Gregory looks at you all and says, "Good morning, eh? Hope you all had a pleasant sleep."
It was fine. We're gonna
Right.
leave now.
Sure.
Olive would have gotten bored in the 10 minutes and walked over to the bungalow to see if anyone was awake over there.
Cool.
We have
She's
to go
seen
wake
the tent.
everybody up.
She's seen the tent fold up. She doesn't need to sit and watch it. She knows what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, you walk over. You notice that the door's closed, so it's hard to know.
I will knock.
Yeah, quick knock. Kaelin opens the door. Oh, morning, Olive. Come on in.
Morning.
People are, well, Nereus is still asleep, but Spoot's up
checks
meditating
out.
and praying, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, come on in.
Yeah, figured to come over and see who was up. We're not going to be cooking breakfast in the manor anytime soon, so
Probably
figured
not.
we'd come
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Shame about Stephen. Or Sebastian. Sorry.
Say who's Steven?
I keep saying things.
Shame about
Thank you.
Sebastian.
It is. Hopefully, Spook can do something about that before we take off. When he's done meditating or praying or whatever it is the Spook does.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Here's hoping, I guess. He was very good at his job, and a nice guy to boot.
He seemed perfectly competent.
He was a little rigid, but, you know. I
Kind
get.
of his job.
Yeah, exactly. And he walks you down the main, kind of main hall of the bungalow. You walk past Spoot, who is praying in like the living room kind of section. There's a bunch of plants around him, which
What kind of plants?
just like house plants. Like you remember from Kaelin's apartment that he's fond of house plants.
Okay.
He's a plant daddy.
Not like Spook
Plant
has
daddy.
gathered all of the plants around.
No.
They were
They're not
over
like immediately around him. There's just a bunch of plants in the area.
What?
And he walks in. Adis is there drinking some hot beverage. Kaelin pats him on the shoulder, kisses the top of his head, and says, "Can I get you anything for breakfast? We've got some porridge on the stove."
Is he saying that to me or to Adis?
To you.
Oh. Sure. I could do with a bowl of hot porridge this morning.
Great. And he scoops out some into a bowl, and there's some like dried fruits that he puts out in a little bowl as well. Help yourself. And you can munch away.
And then Greg storms in. Are we leaving yet?
Kaelin looks right at you. "Good morning, Greg." And Ada shoots you dagger eyes. He's like, "Greg, don't storm into someone's house like that. You know that."
Do I though? Hi. I bought lots of stuff and supplies. Are we leaving yet? Ooh, breakfast. Those plants are pretty.
Well, thank you.
Are you
Would
gonna
you
come
like?
and help us save the world?
Would you
'Cause
like some
I
porridge?
Really? No. Well, yes. But are you gonna come with us this time? Both of you.
Come on. Come on. Let's go.
I think
Now
well,
you have as much to lose as we do because he's threatening the whole world and also burned down the house.
which is why, well, I can't speak for Adis, but I feel I should stay here and watch over the house. I'm also a little too old for rummaging through the wilderness.
No, you're not. We fought you. You're very good.
Well, thank you, but
Great.
you fought me in a warehouse, so.
Greg, if you really want to get going, do something useful and wake up Nereus.
I'm not talking to Nereus. I have all the supplies. I did lots of useful things. I just spent a lot of money. We have lots of scrolls. We have counterspell scrolls, and we have dispel magic scrolls. And I've got this thing called Resilient Spear that should be able to capture Oligar. I have lots of options for stopping the gas because that's what fooled us last time. So I'm ready to go.
Cool.
Adis looks up at you. You've really thought this out, didn't you?
Yes. This fucker needs to die.
Well, you're right about
For the
that.
world's sake and mine.
I agree. You're not wrong. But I should probably stay here with Kaylin. I mean,
Olive says,
once you
okay, fine, and she will go wake Nereus up.
all
I'm
right.
gonna be as petulant as I can be for as long as I can be. Let's be clear.
Sure. You go into the front room, which is where Nereus is sleeping, and you come into his bedroom or the bedroom, and like it's like one of those like scenes in a movie where like the sheets are like all curled up and messed up, and there's like a pillow on the floor, and he's just like spread out in the bed like diagonally, with just a bit of cover, like just barely over his like midsectional area, and otherwise presumably
I was
naked.
gonna say this fucker sleeps in the nude, doesn't he? She will not wake him up gently. She will nudge him
Ha! What the fuck?
like his foot.
Yeah, he jerks awake and he's like very annoyed about it. He says, "All right, give me a minute." And all right, let me get dressed. Get out of here.
Gladly.
And you leave him to get dressed. He comes out a few minutes later. Spoot stands up and walks over to you all. Says, "So, I've got some news. Remember that phylactery? And that's where we're going to end tonight's session of Nuuli Forged."
Oh no.
Cool. The dragon ate that
Hey.
jerk of a
Agree.
wizard, didn't he?
Who's to say?
I mean, we didn't like that wizard anyway.
Merriman was
jerk.
very. I mean, yeah, he was.
Uh-oh.
He has reasons. You don't know him. You don't know his life story.
No. I also don't feel bad if the dragon ate him.
Well, fair enough. But we'll pick up there next week here on Nuuli Forged, where we will have the whole crew. I have been assured that people will be back for that.
Hooray!
So huzzah! Well done, everyone. That was some heavy stuff, and a lot
Well
of
played. I loved it.
Lots of
good info.
story.
It was
Yeah.
great. It was literally the only thing that could stop Greg from wandering off into the darkness and just camping on the road and be like, "They'll find me in the morning.
Yeah.
They're gonna walk by here."
Yeah, there was a countdown for a lot of things recently in the game. The attack on the manor was on a countdown. So that was a long time coming. And then the reappearance of Umbradius to Defect was also something that's certain circumstances had to be fulfilled for that to occur. And mostly it was, hey, you're in town and you kind of make yourselves known that it's in town. And you go out like late at night or you isolate yourself, and guess what you did? You went out shopping at night.
All those things.
You did? Yep, so they came back. If they had ever left in the first place, who knows? But yeah. And I've been kind of seeding that Olive revelation for a while too. There have been a few things where like that could have come up a lot earlier, but it didn't happen. So this time it actually did, because you have achieved a certain level of fame, especially in Fey Harbor. Your stories have been circulating, so people who are looking for certain individuals or things might know of you guys now. So
yeah,
your DM's about to be full up with people asking to collab and shit. So I don't know.
Too many people.
Lots and lots of people.
It's all great. It's all gravy, baby. But no, really well done, y'all. You all handled everything super well, and like I wasn't sure like how it was going to go over. So good job.
I mean, I'll have thought about just going to bed and ignoring the message, but
In which case, that would have been the end of that.
Yep.
but there was no one else for her to talk to, so she figured, what the hell.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Part of this way.
I've got it. Collab on saving the world? ?
Right.
Maybe so. Who's to say? But well done, players. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you, I've got it, for 2 years of being a subscriber and being our favoritist mod, bestest mod on Twitch, and being active in chat and helping us out in all the ways. So thank you, I've got it.
And happy belated birthday, right?
And happy belated birthday. Birthday was last Thursday. Didn't tell us on Wednesday, so we couldn't wish it to him then. So happy late birthday, I've got it. You're the best.
And thanks for the onions.
Yes, and Olive, thanks you for the onions. They were very good. Or they might be good. They're probably still good. They were in a burlap sack. And it wasn't on fire, so that's a good thing.
All good things.
Although roasted onions, pretty tasty.
True story.
Yeah.
But hey, friends, let's go ahead and say our goodbyes, and I'll figure out who we gonna raid tonight. Let's start with Olive.
What? I'm in the middle. I'm never first.
But you're at the bottom of the active stack, so.
Fair. Hi, I'm Sarah. I have been Olive. We're on a whole bunch of social media things. We're Nuuli Forged on all of them. If you can hear my voice, you could presumably spell Nuuli Forged because you've gotten this far. So come and find us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and Twitch and YouTube and all those lovely things. Past episodes are all on YouTube. You could have an entire marathon binge party of all 108 episodes to date.
Very well
And you
done.
had a lot of free time.
That's good.
And thanks for watching.
Fantastic. Let's hop on up then to Greg.
I'm Greg, also known as Amber. Thank you for watching. I got nothing clever to say. Good luck, have fun. If you live in New England, hopefully someday it will be really spring.
One day soon.
It is
It's
fall,
coming.
spring, and second winter currently.
Second winter,
Well, I
exactly.
think we might be up to third winter at this point.
Yeah, that was third winter.
Could be third winter.
There was a fall spring at like the end of
There's a
January.
fall spring, and then a
Like,
spring
every-
deception, and then
Deception,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm not actually in New England. I'm in New York. It's all
New York
just
City is sort of its own, yeah.
yeah. because all the
Yeah.
heat retains in the streets and everything, all the concrete. So
Yeah, so it snowed all day yesterday, mostly sideways, and not a single flake stuck.
Yeah.
It's just wet. It was just wet and muddy.
yep,
Yeah.
exactamundo. All right,
Anyway,
well, let's hop on up to Defect, everyone's favorite Arcanaton barbarian with another name.
It's me. Yes. My name is Mike. Defect / Blockadius / #Refect. Going with that. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night. Have a wonderful Ides of March, and we'll see you next week.
Wonderful. And I am Jared. I have been your Dungeon Master here on Nuuli Forged. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to anyone who stopped in, gave us a lurk, gave us a little checkout. Anyone who's interacted with our socials, thank you very much for that. We'll be back here next week. So come back, join us for that. We'll have the entire party. And we will see what goes on. It's going to be interesting to see how we pick up the next step of the journey here. So yeah, do that. We're going to raid over to 5% chance. They're streaming a little D&D over there. So we're going to do that. Let them know that they've been newly raided. And we'll see you next week. Be kind to one another. Be kind to everybody else. Be cool. Be chill. Don't be a dick. And just, try to leave things a little bit better than when you found them, I guess, because that's a goal, I suppose.
You're so eloquent and loving, Jared.
Yeah, I know. I'm a big old softy. That's what I'm known for.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see you next week, everyone, right here at 7 p.m. on Twitch at Nuuli Forged. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.